this is Emily from myclosetrocks.com. We sell pre-owned authenticated designer fashion, so check it out. Today I want to go over selling on Tradesy.com. Tradesy is a wonderful place to sell your designer bags, shoes, accessories, whatever. And I have been selling with them for about 4 years now and probably have sold around $400,000 to $500,000 worth of stuff on the platform. So I feel like I know the ins and outs, and I want to tell you guys a couple of little things that they don't really make clear, and I also want to set you up for success for selling as well as purchasing on the platform. Let's start with the pros of selling on Tradesy. The first thing I like is that it is pretty easy to list, and you are able to include basically as much information as you want. A lot of other platforms don't allow as many photos as they should in order for you to accurately list your bag, as well as minimize returns for inaccuracies within your listing. You're able to include 13 photos of your item, and they will actually Photoshop the background out of your main photo. So make it easy for them, put it on a white background, something easy to Photoshop, because that's gonna be your main image and what's going to attract buyers. My favorite feature of the Tradesy app or website is that you are able to relist something. So if you did buy something and you don't like it, but you don't wanna return it, or you missed the return window, you can easily just click relist and relist that item without even taking further pictures. You should if they were bad in the first place. But they make it that easy to basically just resell your item on the platform, which is a big benefit. Second, you're able to copy other listings. So let's say you have a Louis Vuitton Neverfull and you don't want to start the listing from scratch because that takes time. All you need to do is look up Louis Vuitton Neverfull, find the one that looks just like your bag, click on the listing, and then there's a link that says sell yours. What this means is that the new listing will now have the dimensions, the color, the brand, the style, all already filled out. And I recommend taking the most popular one. So if the first one comes up, it has like 100 likes, that one was popular. Copy that one because it obviously is doing well within the Tradesy marketplace. The next pro of selling on Tradesy is their shipping options. They will give you 3 options, but my favorite is the prepaid label, which is only $10.50, and that is at a cost to you. So that's taking out of your earnings. So keep that in mind. It's included in the sale price. Now, this took me contacting support to find out, but this $10.50 label will get you any size box as long as it is under 10 pounds. Now, this is fantastic because you don't have to worry about paying $50, $60 to ship something super expensive or super large, such as a suitcase. So you can sell suitcases there. The one thing you need to do if you use a prepaid label is when dropping it off at the post office, don't just leave it there. Don't hand it to your postman, get a receipt. This is essential to selling on Tradesy because the prepaid label is USPS, and we all know they're not the most reliable. So if you get a receipt that is proof that it is in their possession, so if it does get lost or it's not delivered or whatever, that means that Tradesy will take care of dealing with insurance and things like that because the label does cover that. However, if you don't have a receipt and it doesn't get scanned, you're out of luck. This has happened to me a couple times and there is nothing they can do about it. Next, this is both a pro for sellers and buyers. Tradesy basically will take back any item besides wedding dresses, bodysuits, swimwear, or anything that's like final sale. They will take it back for site credit. They will not refund you unless the item has shown it is not as described. Let's say you buy a Louis Vuitton bag, you receive it, it's stained in the interior, that was not in the listing or in the photos. That means you can file a claim. Do this within 4 days after receiving it. They definitely time this after that time. You have no option but to relist the item. Once you request a return, you will get a free shipping label, and you will just pop that on there and send it right back to Tradesy headquarters where they will inspect for authenticity as well as condition. If the condition wasn't what it was in the listing, that means you'll get refunded in your original payment and that item will be sent back to that seller that lied to you. If you just don't like the item, you can send it back and just have site credit and buy something else, which there's something always new. So that's also great. A suggestion I have for sellers is that make sure you opt into the sales, Tradesy sales. So this means that they will automatically mark down your item when the brand goes on sale. That's something they decide. So if you choose 10%, the buyer will pay 10% less. Hence, you will get 10% less with that sale. So keep that in mind. This will definitely increase your sales because when your item is featured in a sale, that means more people are seeing it and more people think they're getting a great deal. Now for the cons of selling and buying on Tradesy. First, their commission fee for selling there is fairly high. I'm not saying it's not super competitive with the rest of the market, but it's higher than Poshmark now, which really made me angry. So how it works is if your item is $50 or less, they're gonna take $7.50 from that sale. If it's higher than $50, they're going to take a commission of 19.8% of that sale. But what they don't tell you on just the overview of selling on Tradesy page is that if you want this in cash, they're gonna take another 2.9% out of that. So that when they show you your earnings on your sales page, that is your earnings to spend on the website, not your bank account. So when you're listing, make sure to take this into account. Now, when you finally get your earnings released, and this can take 4 to 21 days, which is ridiculous. As I mentioned before, when you sell something, that buyer has 4 days to decide if they want to keep the item. Now, even if your earnings are released after 4 days or 21, whatever it is, because this allows time for the buyer to return it and in Tradesy to inspect it if it is returned and things like that. In most cases, your earnings will be released within 4 days. But if someone returns it for even just change of mind, they're gonna still hold on to your funds until they inspect it. So let's say you finally get your funds released. It is available immediately for you to spend on their site. However, if you want it in your bank account, you're gonna have to wait another 7 to 10 days. This is a huge inconvenience as compared to Poshmark, which as soon as you get your earnings released, you'll get it within most likely latest 2 business days. So it is a huge discrepancy. The biggest con for sellers is this authenticity guaranteed promise by Tradesy. And I know they have software and they have people looking at these listings every time someone lists something, or if something is sold and it doesn't look right, usually Tradesy kind of reviews it and makes sure it looks okay before confirming the sale with the seller. However, I have received tons of fake bags from Tradesy. Just because you bought it on Tradesy, it's not authentic. And I hear this all the time. They're like, oh, I bought it on Tradesy, so it's authentic. Not true. That is a responsibility of you as a buyer to make sure that it is authentic. Tradesy does their best. They look for serial numbers. They have like little software that recognizes this stuff. And if there's no serial number included in the listing, usually they'll contact the seller and ask them to provide it for them before they confirm the sale. Or if you buy something like a Birkin bag, something very expensive, it goes through Tradesy Trust and they go over it and make sure it's authentic before it is shipped to you. Let's say you get something you're unsure of the authenticity. I usually just get it authenticated by my authentication company because that is fastest. However, if you're unsure, you can actually just ship it back to Tradesy at no cost for them to inspect it for you. And they will refund you if it turns out to be fake. This can take anywhere from, plus shipping 4 to 7 days. And then plus that, you're gonna have to wait for shipping to get the item back. So it is a huge time suck to figure out if your item really is authentic. And in most cases, it is, but there have been many times because I have purchased thousands of dollars of stuff on the website that it could be fake. So it always helps to go to the seller's profile to check out, see if they're like one of those random people sellers or if they're actually a business selling on Tradesy. That can also help. So take advantage of the free authenticity check. All you have to do is go request a return and say, I'm unsure of the authenticity. Send it back to them and they will check that for you in person. Make sure to check out the blog linked below with a ton more tips. I kind of went crazy with this blog. Buying and selling on Tradesy is great, but can also be tricky, especially if you don't know the ins and outs. Authenticity is always guaranteed on myclosetrocks.com. And we also will buy your item outright. You don't have to wait 21 days to get your earnings. Just go to myclosetrocks.com/sell for more information. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you found this informational, and make sure to check out the blog below. Thanks so much.